It's time to enter the drone zone with me, James Drone, aka Pure Ambient Drone. So hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and get ready to synth on.
Hey there, Synth Drones. We're back with episode number 73 of Midnight Synthesizer Talk with me, James Drone, the voice of synthesizers. And once again, I have Rick Marston here with me. Well, he's not literally here with me, but he's on the phone. And what's on your mind tonight, Rick?
We need another Polyevolver, Dave.
Another Polyevolver. I think they're going to make one.
Polyevolver 2, Dave Smith, but blue. Keep it blue with the blue lights.
And yeah, don't change that. That was awesome.
Don't change it. Don't make it red and black like your Prophet lines. You've already done that. We're tired of the orange and red and black. Let's do some colorful aesthetics. Back to aesthetics. We need more colorful keyboards. We need more pizzazz, more bling, more spling. And would people get mad that there's a little light on the back of the keyboard that flashes with the LFO? I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. That is the coolest thing in the world because you're giving some of a live performance back to the audience. When you're actually performing the keys, it's reacting to your performance.
Yeah, I think he's going to make one. I think the Pro 3 was a hint that, because he did the Pro 2, then he did the Prophet 12. So I guess he's going to have to do a Polyevolver Rev 2, whatever he wants to call it. I don't know. But I just think he's going to have to do it because it's all there.
Yeah, we had the Prophet 12, and that was a wonderful success. So it'd be cool to do a 6 and 6, 6 voice analog, 6 voice digital, Polyevolver 2. Let's see it, Dave.
Yeah, I want to see 8 voices minimum on a Polyevolver remake. Absolutely, I do.
I would love it, 8 voices, but I'm just being nice.
I had the privilege. I keep wondering about this. I had the privilege of speaking on the telephone with John Bowen. And if you guys don't know who John Bowen is, you really should Google the name. I know Rick knows.
He's a master sound designer. And
and he is real good friends with Dave Smith. And him and I were talking on the telephone. And I mentioned to him how much, he asked me, he said, what is your favorite synthesizer that Dave Smith has brought out? And I said, it was the Polyevolver. And he chuckled and he says, you know what? The next time I talk to him, which will be soon, I'm going to tell him that you said that. That Pure Ambient Drone said that the Polyevolver was his favorite synth from the line of synths that he put out. And I said, why are you going to tell him that? And he wouldn't tell me why. It was important for him to go back and tell Dave Smith that. And I'm just like, oh man, could it be that John Bowen mentioned to him, hey, you should bring it back? And maybe Dave said, no, that wouldn't be a good idea. Or maybe Dave said, I'm going to bring it back. And John Bowen said, no, that wouldn't be. I mean, maybe there's some kind of a little, friendly squabble between the two of them, just like, yeah, like an inside joke. And it's just driving me nuts. That would be crazy.
I'll never forget the day I saw the Polyevolver the first time. I had to have one. I saved so much money and sold so many things to get it, and I was so blown away. And when I sold it, that was the biggest, next to the Jupiter 8. That's the second most regretted synth I ever got rid of. So the Polyevolver, I had 2 Polyevolvers in my life, and both times I regret getting rid of it, and I'd love one right now. Another thing is, I will never forget how stunned I was when they announced the Prophet 08, when that was first announced. And I was just like, oh my God, this is a new future for synthesis, to see Dave Smith come out with an all analog, everything everybody wanted,
I had an 08 module and I really, really enjoyed it. It had such a pristine kind of a sound to it. It was clear, it was precise, it was warm, and you could clearly see that it had it was DCO. I mean, you could clearly hear that in the synth.
Oh yeah,
very rock solid. My Rev 2, of course, has that little sloppy little knob, the slop knob that you can make it a little bit wonky so that the stability of the tuning is a little out. That's nice to have. I like that.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying on the line of the Prophet '08, we're talking about Prophets like the Prophet 600 and the Prophet 5, the Prophet 10. And now Behringer is going to do the Pro 800, which
I
is my, I
know.
love the Prophets. I'm sorry, I love the Prophet 600. That was one of my favorite synthesizers by Sequential Circuits. So seeing the Pro 800 come out for a price that I think is worth the money. And, I don't know if they're poly-chainable, but that would be very, very cool. I'm excited. You get to have presets with it. And it's, like I said, based on the Prophet 600. That's a very good move
With
by
two
Barry.
more voices. I know.
Yeah.
I'm already looking for a place to put that. And I've kind of made a promise to myself. I don't know if I could keep it, but it's like, okay, if I buy another synthesizer, I'm going to have to say goodbye to one of my synths because I don't
Oh, I'll
want to
take
get too
your
many.
Juno 106.
What's that?
I'll take your Juno 106.
Nobody was talking about getting rid of a Juno 106. You're dreaming over
Woo!
there.
Right, baby.
I let
Yeah.
that thing go. Oh my gosh. I let that thing go, I believe, earlier this year. And it was like crazy. I was so worried I wasn't going to get that thing back, but I did. And I got it back. Not just another one, but I got the exact one back. And I'm so glad that I did. My buddy, he let me buy it back from him at a very good price too. And so I got really lucky with that one. But so the Pro 800 is going to have two more voices. It's going to be with effects, and it's going to have, of course, the presets like the original did. And it's going to be a module, which gives me room here to place it someplace. And then we're going to have a UBXA.
Oh, yes. That would be wonderful.
And then we're hearing we see the trademarks from Tom Oberheim on a what is it, OBXA?
This is incredible news. That right there is like apex information. When the
DMX?
the Prophet 5 and 10 are incredible news. This is beyond that. Just
Right.
to hear
And a drum machine too, right?
this is authentic, real live Oberheim technology. Let's see how well this is the response is. I'm sure everybody's going to come in. Let's look at the price points too, because we
Yeah.
know what we get sonically from Oberheim. But what are the price points? Are they going to be a modern for today's world, or is this going to be another one of those dream synths that people are going to be like, oh man, when I can sell 7 of these, I can get that, or I'm going to be like, 6 years from now, I can afford one. So that's the big query. What are the price ranges? What are the options? So into the spectrum, we're going to be just like.
Do you think that Behringer is going to try to make a Prophet 5 or a Prophet 10? They can't call it that.
No, I think that the Pro, we'll see how the Pro 800 does with the way it is. Obviously, the people are ready for it. They want it. They have the responses are positive. I only had heard one comment somewhere on one of the Behringer pages, and that was just a ripping on it. I didn't even understand the words that they were saying. So this looks like we want more Prophet stuff. The Pro 1 was phenomenal. It was very stable, still is very stable. So maybe a polyphonic, but with presets. We need the presets. Everybody wants to be able to save and store now.
Yeah. I think that Behringer really needs to make they need a flagship. They need something that's all Behringer. It can't be the DeepMind 12, which I think is a fantastic synthesizer. I still have mine. And it's such a no-brainer to own a DeepMind 12. That thing is so awesome. There's so many things it can do. But again, they have to make a flagship that's all their own because the DeepMind 12 is loosely based on a 106, okay? When they made the Neutron, they came out with something that was all theirs. They proved to the world, hey, we can do this. They really need to make something, and I think they will. I know they will. I think what they're waiting on, Rick, I think they're waiting on getting their craft perfected. It takes a lot of work to design these synthesizers. And then it's one thing to take schematics from something that's already been built and tried and worked. And then it's a whole new game to build something from scratch with a whole new design, its own look, its own sound, its own feel, workflow, you name it, all original. That's a lot of work. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's like taking a cover song versus making a brand new song.
Okay, I have to give Behringer complete kudos for having their introduction to the synthesizer world as a 12-voice synthesizer. Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
ECO analog synthesizer with full effects, little sequencer, little arpeggio, little fun, a lot of modulation possibilities. Okay, very, very cool. And a lot of people jumped on that synth immediately to create some incredible patches for it, which are quite useful in a lot of recording methods. So yes, give them some kudos on that for sure, ladies and gentlemen, because that was an amazing feat. Then to come out with the 6th voice. You know, we probably came up with the 6th voice first, but we said, oh, well, let's just do it 12s. Who knows what the original designers were doing, but it was a very intense feat. So you're right. We probably will be waiting a little bit more to do it. I'm sure they've learned a little bit from some of the reactions to the Poly D and its sales and how fast people pounced on that one. Let's see if they can make a 16-voice analog synthesizer workstation with sample capabilities, a thing that I wish Korg would release, or Yamaha or Roland has a full analog synthesizer with a 16-track workstation with sample capabilities, wavetable importing, those kind of things.
Yeah, I don't know. You mentioned Yamaha, so let me go in that direction. My personal opinion is that Yamaha's analog days are over. I don't see them doing any. They could surprise and shock the GBs out of me. But what has Yamaha done since the montage? I'm not trying to, come down on them.
I guess I am I'm a person who's totally into Yamaha gear now. I've been into them before, but right now they really are spending a lot of time working on this FMX technology, which I highly recommend people check out. I believe they will be working on some smaller synths that will be very attractive to the DX7 line. When Korg came out with the tease of a lifetime with the OP6, I know that got Yamaha really, really re-engaged with the synth world. So let's see. Hopefully in 2021, there'll be a brand new DX7 that will blow our mind. Something that is actually Yamaha.
We're still talking digital.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. But I mean, but where I'm going with this is, I think Yamaha as well as Roland, I think their analog days are far behind them. You would agree?
It's yes, because well, I can't say I can't say far away. There's always room for any of these manufacturers to come out with a surprise or something that they're working on that they've had in the back burner.
Agreed.
That didn't get the green light until the right time. With Yamaha and Roland, as we see, is focusing on the software-based integration with your software, your DAW, and your hardware at the same time as one unit. So you could just change files in between each other.
Yeah.
With Yamaha, they wanted to say, all right, well, we know analog may not be our direction, even though we're really well known for analog like the CS80 is one. They are going to focus on the FMX engine, which is wonderful. So again, that they're focusing on their strengths. Roland's wanting to be the ultimate future integration and Yamaha is trying to focus more on the piano lines, of course, but more on the FM for the synthesis world. And I think but that gives other people like Korg and Behringer, Moog, Sequential to really shine with their analog technology. So that's the good thing.
Okay, well, that's about all that we have time for tonight. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you think about tonight's discussion. I'm James Drone, a.k.a. Pure Ambient Drone. Hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and until next time, keep calm and synth on.